Today is June 5th. It's Thursday, and thank you for being with us. This is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, hope you're doing well. Today is Thursday. We're on our way to another gorgeous weekend.
Yes, we are.
I'm telling you, I love this weather, although we could use a little rain. I'm not complaining. Very, very nice. All right.
Well,
June
Mr. Alley,
5th.
yes, on
What's going
today's
on?
show we
Cool.
have part 4
Oh, really?
of our baseball history of Wayne County legends.
This is an event that took place at the Wayne County Public Library on East Ash Street a few weeks back, a few days back. And Marty Cheddar out there is a baseball fanatic. Of course, that's where the word fan comes
Right.
from, fan, fanatic. And he has the history of baseball. He is just so full of information. He has put together a series of events at the library.
That's right.
One of those events was about a 2-hour program featuring the stars of baseball from Wayne County. We're talking about professional baseball now. These are the big names. Of course, Clyde King.
That's right.
And Scarborough and Talton and of course Nara. And those are the big names, and several others as well that that are highlighted in the program. And we have done three of them. Done 3 of them. Today's the final, fourth and final portion or part of that particular program, and they have really been interesting.
They have, and it's one of those things where we need to continue to remind our youth of the history that we have right here from our own community.
It's amazing the number of professional baseball players from right here in Wayne County. I don't know of another county. I'm sure there may be somewhere with the quality of professional baseball player from right here in Wayne County, and that's been the case for the last 50 years or so. In fact, since the early, I think I don't remember the first one, but it was from the late 30s, early 40s was one of the first players from Wayne County, professional ball player. There may have been 1 or 2 before that, but I don't recall who they were. But anyway, you'll love this. It's
Yes,
a great
you will.
program. Yeah. Okay, today, June 5th. The year was 1959, and you remember in high school there was always the young high school student who was kind of a loner, who kind of stood over in the corner with a black leather jacket and had his hair all greased back and everything like that. Well, there was a fellow by the name of Bob Zimmerman, and Bobby lived in Hibbing, Minnesota.
Okay.
And Bobby was a loner, kind of a loner, but everybody kind of knew, well, this guy plays guitar a little bit, and maybe he tries to sing. He's not very good, but he writes music, and he writes well. He wore long sideburns, had a leather jacket and all this. In 1959 it was. He graduated.
Can't wait to hear who he turns in to be.
And the name Zimmerman, well, he loved poetry, for one thing.
Okay.
Hence his writing. And he went on to become a fellow by the name of Bob Dylan.
Wow.
And Dylan named himself, it's said, he named himself after the poet Dylan Thomas. So Bob
Totally
Dylan
changed his name.
Totally changed his name from Zimmerman to Dylan. And
Bob Dylan.
that's right.
So
Graduated
you
high
never
school.
know.
Listen, you never know who that
That's-
person standing over there may be. You never
That's
know
right.
what kind of talent they have, what kind of hidden talent. The birthdays today include Joe Clark. Joe Clark was the former Prime Minister of Canada, just a really great guy. Don Reed, if you don't know that name,
Don't ring a bell.
does the Statler brothers ring a bell?
Yes, it does.
Everybody knows Don Reed. That's Harold's brother. Don was the lead singer pretty much. And Mark Wahlberg having a birthday today.
How old is he?
Mark Wahlberg, let's see, that would be 29, 39, 43.
Okay. Still a young pup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a baby. He wasn't born until 1971.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. I could be his grandfather. No, I couldn't. No. Anyway, besides all that, yes, I could, couldn't I?
Yeah, but I won't say that.
Thank you.
Hey, you can be young nowadays and be grandmas and grandpas.
I know, and I'm so mad I left my cane at home today.
Did ya?
Yes, I did. I can't see anything.
That's a shame. Can you hear?
Huh?
Yep.
What?
All right, let's go to our baseball part 4.
Tonight we're at the Wayne County Public Library, where historian Marty Cheddar of the Public Library will be presenting a program about baseball. Baseball is very important here in Wayne County. We've had several major players go into the sport from right here in Wayne County. Tonight we're going to see artifacts, we're going to hear people talking, we're going to just have a good old time talking about baseball, the American pastime.
The next on our list, one other thing about these banners. One point, I'm going to talk about Marion Talton, but all the banners we have, the images, they're all the beginning of their career, when they're all young, life straight ahead. Jerry actually only played 1 year with the Yankees, so that's the very first year in 1979.
We would have never guessed they were young.
Thank you, Marion.
You look like you did when you were in high school.
He grew up in the Nahana area, Pikeville. I guess lives in Pikeville now. Went to Nahana High School. He played at East Carolina 1 year, 1958. I guess 59 season.
58. Yeah, it's 58.
Okay. And he was a really good hitter, real power hitter. There's some really great articles on his board that we borrow from the scrapbook. We're actually getting two of his scrapbooks digitized through Carolina as well as actually Ray Scarborough. That'll be in the works as well. That'll be on our webpage in the near future. Anyway, Marion, he played a lot of community teams, these semi-pro teams, like this, not this far back, but in the mid-50s, stuff like that, Pinckney area, Nahana. And then he went to college, played at ECU, and then he was signed in, as I believe, in 1959.
59, yeah, 1959.
Okay, with the San Francisco Giant organization. He played minor league ball for about 7 years. There was one point where he was told that he wouldn't make it to the major leagues. That was always a motivation. In baseball, provided an opportunity. He was out of the fields, was way to make some money. He had to have talent, but there's a lot of factors involved with it. And it's a grueling play, but he made it. So he got to play with the Kansas City Athletics for 2 years, from 1966-67. Along the way, some of his teammates, he was actually a roommate with Catfish Hunter. People can remember that name, Hall of Famer. He played with Vita Blue, Rick Monday, Bert Campaneris, and actually, Reggie Jackson was on one of those teams. He was a catcher. So this is an actual mitt that he used in some major league games. So his first home run that he hit, I guess he hit 2 major league. And the first one he hit was at Yankee Stadium in 1966 off Mel Stoudemire. So that's a big thrill. And for a lot of these guys, the first major league game was actually attending a game was in a game, which makes a lot of sense. This is a pretty rural area. The closest team at that time, Atlanta came later.
Senators.
It would have been DC. That's right. Yeah, DC. It wasn't as easy to get to games, I guess. So anyway, this is a glove. You may talk about it in just a second.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I don't know to talk about the glove, but missed it anyway. Now, let me tell you something about what baseball is really about, and that's playing with Charlie Finley. He had some good things. He had some, off the wall things, whatever. He had a mascot by the name of Charlie O, and he just happened to be a mule. And anytime anybody hit a home run, he'd ride around the park. But the mule probably got treated better than we did. Because these are true stories. We go into New York, and Blue Moon Odom was the pitcher. Here was a space marked off over here with rope around it and some straw on the floor. Guess who was in the hotel? Charlie O, the mule. And Odom said, "Daggone," said, "I've seen everything now." I said, "The season ain't over." And it wasn't. We went out to the ballpark one day, and Alvin Dart was our manager, and he said, "All of you need to be on the field at 7 o'clock. The game time was 7:30. He said, what's going on? He said, boys, I hate to tell you this, but we're going to sing happy birthday to Charlie O. Put the mule on the mound, 25 all of a sudden, happy birthday. Well, I want to emphasize what Marty said. Look, that's a hard road, every one of them. If they were here tonight, it's a tough road, hard road. You know, God looked after me. Because I came home too. Because I played AAA 3 years. I'd done all I knew what to do. And I came home and I got a phone call. They said, would you consider going to Mobile, Alabama and play AA? I said, sure. They said, well, we're going to get ready to catcher down here. And until then, we want you to play left field. I said, oh. I said, I can commit suicide here in Wayne County. I know that. I said, who you got playing center field? They said, Rick Mundy. And he was out of Arizona State. They just gave him about $125,000. I said, Rick, I'm playing 20 feet from the line. You got all the rest. But, you know, Charlie was good. He gave me the opportunity to play. One other thing I want to mention. This guy right here, Robinson, George probably didn't go through as much, but this bothered me then, and it bothers me now. I didn't have any problem with it. I played my first year in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and next year in Springfield. Then I went to the Texas League. And we were on a road trip, the very first one. The guy sitting beside of me, he had played before. And I said, we're kind of off the beaten path here. You know, what's going on? He said, oh, forgot to tell you. We got to come down here and drop our black players off. I said, what? They just wouldn't allow them to stay in the hotel. Bothers me then, bothers me now. This is what some of these guys went through. I'm telling you. And it wasn't right. I said, look, these are my friends. They're my buddies. They're my pals. They're my teammates. But that's just the way it was. One other thing tonight, there's one more believer, and that's my wife. Let's tell you a little something about this girl playing in the minor leagues. She drove from the Hunter to Tacoma, Washington, with that boy 1 year old and his sister 3 years old. She sure did. And I said, boy, I'm waiting for her to tell me, why don't you give this up and get a real job? But she never did. She was a trooper, you know. She really was. I reckon my greatest feat was hitting my first home run in Yankee Stadium. Well, Marty's already mentioned it. And it was just a God gift from, I was on my way home. Now, one other story. I was on my way home. I'd been in AAA 3 years, and that's when I went to Mobile. And I'd never played close to home. I was always out there. Mobile was the closest I ever played, but we did come into Charlotte and Nashville. So I got her to meet me with 2 kids there, and we were going back to Mobile, finish out the season. That was it. You know, I'd had enough. And we played, played in Charlotte, went to Asheville. John McNamara was the manager, who later managed the Red Sox. And he said, after the game, he said, Tim, come here. I said, oh, we ain't even gonna get a chance to go back to Mobile. We're going home. And he said, I got a call a while ago, and they want you in Baltimore tomorrow. I said, boy, that was good. And then I happened to think, that ain't so good, because that woman just packed up 2 kids. And I got an apartment in Mobile, but, you know, it worked out. And, you know, she was a trooper, real trooper. And I'm proud of her. Thanks, guys.
How many people here are familiar with the baseball field in the Hunter? Back in the days when Marion played and when I played for Fremont. But he hit a ball in the Hunter ballpark that I've never seen anybody ever. The last time I saw it, it was still going over the gym across the Pinckney Road. Now everybody was just sitting there looking. I never seen a ball hit that far.
Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for your internotes as well. A couple other quick things. Marion was, he played first base in the only triple play for Kansas City Athletics baseball history, 1967?
66.
66, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Kid from Wayne County. And then also he played many years 7 years in the minor leagues, and he played in the, there weren't many players that made all-star teams, but he played on 2 all-star teams in the minor leagues in AA. And 1 year was, when he was in the Texas League, they played down in Mexico City. The Texas League team played.
Yeah, there was two leagues. There was Mexican League and AA team in the Texas League. The first part of July we went down there, and the second part of July they came up here, and then they picked an all-star game. And this guy in Mexico City hand painted this and done a tremendous job.
Which is pretty neat if he did this for every single person. If you really look closely, everything's hand painted. All the names and logos and all that, so that's kind of neat.
Let me say one more thing about my owner, Charlie Finley. I think you would get a kick out of this. He was the first one to come out with the, real loud uniforms, and of course that caught on for a while. And he wanted us to wear them. We opened them up on the road, and we had gold, green socks. Oh, you can't imagine. And somebody said, "Who's the first one going to be out in the dugout?" I almost believe we were at Yankee Stadium, but I'm not for sure, And about 8 or 10 of us had got out there on the field, and a guy up there, I think he'd already had about 8 or 10 beers, and he said, "Hey, y'all at the wrong place." Said, "This ain't girls softball."
Then we can just mill around, talk to people and stuff like that. This item, there's a gentleman I got to know who went to Dillard High School, Ernest Lofton. He ran, I believe he worked with the rescue services here, and then he also ran Lofton Studios, photography studio. And he got interested in photography as a young man in the late 60s, something like that. Learned to develop film, and then ended up getting his own studio. That was a part-time business. So he had some absolutely fantastic photographs. In the early 50s, he finished Dillard High School in 1954. But before that, in the early 50s, he was in the Webtown area, which is, I guess, Elm Street, Slocum Street. It was kind of the Webtown community. This is a uniform from the early 50s that he and his neighborhood kids, wasn't really an organized league, but what's really neat about it is, you got to think as young kids, they got together, raised money, I guess collected cans and bottles, stuff like that, paid for their own uniforms, and then they would call up kids around the community, different areas, Snow Hill, Mount Olive, I guess the north end they call it, different parts of Goldsboro to play teams, play against each other. And so this is his uniform from the early 50s, which is an absolutely fantastic shape. Here's a picture of him wearing it, which is kind of neat. And the other cool thing is, as a kid, he told me, and this is just the kids, the youthfulness of kids being kids. They ran out of, actually in 1954, the minor league park got torn down from Hurricane Hazel. Got destroyed. That was here where the Gold Bugs used to play. And that's the area where they used to play in. So they actually, when it got destroyed, they actually talked to a man that had property with the old fairgrounds, I guess. It used to be somewhere near the railroad area. And they went and asked for permission, and they built their own field. Well, thanks so much for everyone coming tonight, for sharing things. Let people know. I mean, this is going to be a fun project. Again, ongoing. And actually, we're going to model how the Baseball Hall of Fame, how they document the national game through culture and minor leagues and Negro leagues and all that, and we're going to do that here. through the library. And it's going to be fun. There's absolutely fantastic history. Endless stories. We'll do some oral history interviews. I'll start with Marion and George Whitfield and some others like that. Anyway, this is great. I guess that's about it.
Let's give Marty a big hand.
And we're back. Wasn't that fun?
That was.
That was fun.
Glad to learn all about it.
All right. Did you know that the state cornhole championship or competition is going to be played right here in Goldsboro?
I know. Isn't that
Yeah,
amazing?
That is amazing. Well, the whole state of North Carolina is going to be right here.
Right here in Goldsboro. Who knew?
This is only one of many events our Betsy Roseman
Travel and tourism.
Travel and Tourism has put together for Wayne County here. And she is doing such a great job.
She certainly is. And she partners a lot with Goldsboro Parks and Recreation Director Scott Barnard.
That's exactly right. And think about this just a minute now. We have all these things coming to Goldsboro. Goldsboro and Wayne County, we've got the cornhole thing, we've got the bicyclists coming, we've got the big tennis tournament taking place, we've got
Disc golf state tournaments.
State tournament, disc golf, we've got the alumni organizations coming to Wayne County. And all this information, all this would make one ask the question, well, how do they know about Goldsboro?
That's right.
It's very simple. Scott Barnard, Betsy Roseman, our Parks and Recreation Department are doing a great job of getting the word out about Goldsboro and Wayne County. So we need to thank them for all the hard work they're putting in and bringing these organizations and all this great competition, all this great fun to Goldsboro and Wayne County.
That's right, and it really makes a difference for our economic development right here in our community.
It does, and that's very important. That's what it's all about, is economic development and bringing money into Wayne County.
That's right.
Well, I mean, there's more to it than that, but I mean, that helps.
Today is the day, 3 o'clock this afternoon. If you have young children and they want to be a part of a sprinkler situation or program, the Goldsboro Fire Department will be offering their large sprinkler, and it's huge. This afternoon from 3 to 4, bring your young ones down. Let them come out and enjoy downtown Goldsboro at Cornerstone Commons. Beat the heat right downtown Goldsboro this afternoon from 3 to 4 every Thursday through the summer. It'll go through August 21st.
Do you think they'll get wet?
I think they will. This sprinkler is massive.
I would hope so. I mean,
one of the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Can you imagine the fun? Do you remember when you were a kid? I remember last year.
When you were a kid last year?
Yeah, well, you know. But running through the sprinkler, you know, and that was fun. And this is a big sprinkler.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
it is. It's always fun down there, and that is every Thursday from 3 to 4 through August 21st. And today's the very first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's a lot of fun.
June the 7th is a Saturday. There's lots going on.
Is that this month?
I believe it is this month.
June 7th?
June 7th.
Okay, that's this
You
month.
have the Born Learning Young Children's Festival in Herman Park from 10 until 2. You have the Bluegrass Festival. It's at Waynesboro Park. Let's see what time that is. That's from noon until 3.
Noon to 3.
Noon until 3. All happening on June 7th. So 2 different events that you can go to. Bluegrass, Young Children's Born Learning Festival at Herman Park.
Bluegrass, or what she said. What'd you say?
Born Learning Young Children's Festival.
That's what I meant.
Through the Partnership for Children.
There you go. All right.
Always something going on.
Always something going on.
That's right.
All right. Okay, let's see. Spring cleaning. Are you spring cleaning? You're cleaning your springs? Well, that's
I
a good
did that
thing.
not long ago.
Did you really?
Woo, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Donated
what.
a whole lot to Habitat for Humanity.
Habitat. Well, you know what? That's the thing you should do. You should be donating these things. Don't throw them away. Donate
No.
these things to Habitat, to the
Yeah.
senior center. Yeah.
That place over there?
Over there on East Ann Street, you know the place, East Ann Street. Anyway, as you're cleaning out your closet, remember that these places need support from the community. They need volunteers, they need support. So if you're able to, as you're cleaning out your closet and doing your spring cleaning, take some of these items by the Habitat office or by the senior center and help support these organizations. They need your help.
They do. And you know, if you have a large amount, Habitat will actually come pick it up, which was
Really?
very nice.
Wow.
Yes, I think you need a large amount, which I had.
Did you?
Ooh. And they will come pick it up, and they were so kind and so nice, and we greatly appreciate it. It's all volunteers that came and picked up all my stuff.
Really?
All volunteers.
All volunteers. All volunteers.
Yes, Wayne Alley, all volunteers.
Is it all volunteers? we got
Yes,
a
it
blood
is.
drive coming up on June 11th. It's all volunteers. We have a blood drive coming up on June 11th. The
Yes,
senior-
we
the
do.
county and the city go to it again here. We face off toe to toe, elbow to elbow, and face to face. Vein to vein. There you go.
The
Thank you very
city
much.
and the county.
That's right.
Who's going to win?
We are.
We are.
No, we are. You are.
We are.
Anyway, we'll
That's
be
all
back
for
in here
today.
tomorrow. That's all for today. That's right. We'll be back at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Tomorrow being Friday, of course, and we'll have another program for you. I start to say a great program, but who knows? But anyway, join us again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.